I'll tell you what does stand the test of time, though. It's like how to show respect in practical ways. It's never outdated. It's never a bad thing. Listening to a woman is a huge deal. Not rushing a relationship. That's another one. Like taking your time. That's actually
huge.
It is. Not objectifying, right? So honesty, that's another one. Honesty is all about who we are, right? And obviously truth behind that, but honesty. And then confidence. Like confidence is something that is rooted in values and not necessarily bravado. I guarantee you can tell at your age, like what girl has genuine confidence that's rooted in values and someone who's completely fake. What's up, Dad Edge Nation? It's Larry Hagner here. What's going on? This is our Wednesday show. So dating wasn't what it was 25 years ago. Swipe left, swipe right, DMs. This is like a whole new ballgame out there. And what's a 19-year-old supposed to do? Actually, what's a middle-aged man even supposed to do if you're in your 30s, 40s? Like, this is not the same dating thing that I was used to growing up. This is no.
Are you sure?
It's totally different. It's totally different. Back in my day, we actually had to pick up the phone and call someone.
Of course, I still pick up the phone to call someone.
Yeah, but you do it to text.
I don't know. You're trying to.
Gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to the Dad Edge Podcast. I'm Larry Hagner. I'm your host and founder of this podcast, this show, and movement. I am the father of 4 boys. I am the husband of 1, and I am the founder of the Dad Edge Podcast, as well as the Dad Edge Alliance. That is our program for our career men who refuse to settle for a mediocre marriage or mediocre connection with their kids. And then we also have the Dad Edge Business Boardroom Brotherhood, which is our elite group for our business owner brothers out there who are running businesses, running teams, who want to go out and basically build an empire, but not at the expense of the relationships they have with the most important people in their life. So we help men in that group continue to grow and scale their business while cultivating an absolute incredible marriage with closeness, connection, and intimacy, and while also creating an incredible connection with your kids. So that is me. And then Ethan, how about you? For the guys who maybe they don't know you.
Well, I'm in college right now. Currently doing my prerequisite of medical terminology before EMT school. It is an interesting class. A lot of stuff you gotta remember. A lot of words you gotta remember. A lot of ways you gotta pronounce them. So it's interesting. I am
Superior.
Isn't that up here?
Anterior, distal, proximal.
Dorsal.
Wait, isn't that a
Distal.
fish?
Dorsal fin.
I wonder whatever happened. Like, why? You ever think like the dolphins are like, why is my fin different? It's not dorsal. I don't even know what that means.
It's on their back, so that's
It is.
dorsal.
Is that dorsal?
Yeah, that means like, I think that
Oh, the
means
dorsal fin. You're right.
yeah,
So what are the side fins called? Are those side fins?
sidal fins.
Sidal finis and dorsimus maximus decimus meridiusness. That's the technical term. Pancreatitis. Gentlemen, hey, if you are joining us on YouTube, you are looking at a very, very different setup. We are now in what we would call the Dad Edge studio. We are side by side now. And yeah, we're trying out this new look. We're checking this out. And as you guys can see in the studio here, we've got our show sponsors. We got some of their products here displayed on the table, and that's our brothers over at First Form, brothers and sisters, I guess I should say, over at First Form. We have a couple different products here that we definitely want to highlight here. A few of these on the table are my favorites. These are my go-to. So first of all, Microfactor. Guys, if you are a grown man, which I don't think there's many not grown men listening to this show, wouldn't you agree? Yeah.
Wait, I thought your age group was more based on kids from the ages of 4 to 10 years old.
Yeah, I'm kind of more targeting their dads, though. Like, we're really having the conversation with those guys. But no, all kidding around. So, like, if if you're a grown man, you need microfactor. A lot of people out there, they really want to get their micronutrients, right? I mean, this is a nutrient dense pack. It's got antioxidants and it's got your multivitamins. It's got fruits and veggies. It has probiotics. It also has your essential fatty acid. It also has coenzyme Q10. So you literally get everything you need right here in this pack. I'll tell you, if you were to buy everything in this pack separately, you'd be paying well over $150. And the nice thing I love about Microfactor is it literally comes in these packets just like this. So I don't have to like separate these capsules or anything like that. I don't have to count them. I just open up the pack. I always take it with food. I usually take it with my afternoon meal. Makes me feel good, makes my gut health feel great. It helps decrease bloating. It helps protect my heart. So that's Microfactor. I'll have a link in the show notes for you guys as well. Also, we have on here Ignition. And we also have Formula One. Now, this right here, this is your post-recovery drink. I will tell you, there's all kinds of flavors that First Form makes as far as their protein isolates go. Protein isolate meaning, let me just put this in just plain English, no technical terms. I love science, I love data, and I love supplements. But basically, a whey protein isolate is the best type of protein to take post-workout because it's delivered straight to where it needs to go, and that is recovering the muscle. So your body has to do minimal breakdown, highly bioavailable. This is the products that you want to take when you do right after your workout. So mix in a scoop of Ignition, which, by the way, the cool thing about Ignition, when First Form first launched Ignition, and basically what Ignition is these are your carbs in here. It's made with dextrose, but it also has a ton of vitamins and minerals. So not only did First Form, when they first launched Ignition, it wasn't fortified with vitamins and minerals, but it is now. So the cool thing about this is not only are you recovering with the proper carbohydrates, the proper protein, you absolutely want a whey protein isolate post-workout, but you're also getting essential micronutrients with Ignition as well. So go check them out, guys. We'll have a link for you in the show notes for all my guys who work out and you want to recover fast, because at the end of the day, the thing is this: the faster you recover, the more body fat you're going to burn, the better you're going to feel, the more energy you're going to have, the more your metabolic rate will go up. All of these things that are so important. And I'll tell you, if anything, guys, protein is, you need to be prioritizing protein. Protein. The amount. So I heard this actually from our folks over at First Form, and it's absolutely true. So your calories will reflect the number that you see on the scale. So if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. However, protein is going to affect how you look in the mirror. So, like for all my guys out there, you want to retain muscle. So if you go to a catabolic state and you're starting to break down, you're starting to lose, weight, you want to retain muscle. You do not want to lose your muscle. So, like I said, Ignition with Formula One is an awesome, awesome combination after a workout. And make sure you also get Microfactor as well. I do want to point you guys in the direction of one more thing here, and that is, as of next week, we are 1 week away from my launch of Pursuit of Legendary Fatherhood. It's coming out September 16th, 2025. Pre-orders are available if you go to thedadedge.com/legendary book. Okay, thedadedge.com/legendary book. I'm giving away 2 of my most popular courses with that. And one is creating more patience, and the other one is creating extraordinary marriage. So go check that out. All right, so back to our show today. So Ethan, I just have to ask you, let me just start this off with a question for you.
Okay.
Now, I know you have a girlfriend, right? So you're not so much in the dating world. You're dating and you're in an exclusive relationship. But let's just talk about, your friends, and let's talk about like just what you see out there. Like, I know you're out of high school, so I think a lot of people probably did meet each other in high school. But I mean, are people your age, 19, are they using the apps yet? Like the Tinders and the Bumbles and the...
I don't know anyone that uses those, but I have heard of people using them. So I don't know anyone personally that actually uses that stuff, but I have heard of other people using it before.
So I guess then how do most people, I guess, find love at your age?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
If it's someone from a different school, or they're just not the type of person to go up to someone, which is pretty much the norm nowadays. Snapchat.
Snapchat. Wait, how do you? So like, what do you do? Like, hey, do you come in this virtual room very often?
So what happened was on Snapchat, there is a thing on here called it's like a little plus button with like a person. And if you go to that, it'll be like all the people that you know
Okay.
that you can add that you haven't added yet, or it's people that like are mutual. Like this person that you have added is added to this person. Would you like to be friends with them? And it's a bunch of people, a bunch of different people, and they also have this thing called Quick Add, which is a bunch of random people in your area that you
So
can add.
really?
Yeah.
So like, do you need? So if someone wants, so if you someone your age like sees somebody attractive and you want to add them, do they automatically get added, or do they have to grant permission?
No, so you add them and then they will either accept you or decline you. So on the other side. So let's just say like
Really?
I have a friend who wants to add me on Snapchat. He'll send me I guess a friend request you could say. And I'll either accept it or deny it. But
Okay.
most of the time I'll accept it if it's one of my friends. But if it's a girl I don't know or if it's someone I have no idea who they are, I'm like, nope, staying out of that. It's not someone I know and I don't know who this person is. I don't
Okay.
care if they know that person unless I know them through that person. I don't want to meet them through this app.
So do most people then like are they like, bro, look, she added me back. Like, look.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
And
the
also,
way that people, at least for guys, I'm sure guys do this for like a way of showing off or showing who they are. But they'll have this thing when you click on their profile to see who they are. They won't show anything. They only have the Bitmoji and the name and their username and how many followers or like people they have added. And sometimes they'll have this thing called a public profile, which is where they can see what they look like, things that they post, and usually it's like a picture of their face or something that they're doing like at a baseball game, and it's like they can have this little filter that shows where they're at. Like it could say Bush Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. And it's like those are your public profiles, and then some guys will also do it. They'll even do like gym pics or cars, yeah, muscles, or they'll do. And a lot of people will do scripture, like they'll put like emoji like titling their public profile, and it's like Bible verses. Like that's the way that most people like find out who they are, what they're all about, what they look like. Because whenever you're adding someone, they don't have a public profile. You don't know what they look like. The only description you have is their Bitmoji until they start snapping you a picture of their face.
has anyone ever been like, based on this Bitmoji, I bet she's pretty cute.
Yes, actually, but looks on that can be very deceiving.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
So
Yeah.
do not trust that if that's the way you're going.
Well, I mean, look at like Jessica Rabbit. You know, she's smoking.
I don't know who that is.
What?
I don't know names.
Have you ever not ever seen Roger Rabbit?
What's that?
Oh my dear Lord.
I don't know names very well.
So Roger Rabbit was a cartoon back in the day.
Roger.
And,
No, wait, that does sound familiar.
yeah, and he was married to Jessica Rabbit, and Jessica. So Roger Rabbit's a rabbit. Jessica Rabbit was like, I mean, I guess in the cartoon world, she's pretty good looking. I mean, like she's
Or Lola from Bugs Bunny.
I don't know. Like, yeah, it's like
I'm just listing characters.
you can tell. I mean, like the people that created Jessica Rabbit, they were like, let's create like the most impossible curvy woman, like because she's got a waist like this big, and everything else is like. So anyway, this rabbit is married to, which is really weird if you really think about it. This rabbit is married to Jessica Rabbit.
Is it like a cartoon for kids?
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, it was a movie back in the 80s, but anyway, like, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of things that you can, adjust in your Bitmoji to make you more
Yeah.
appealing.
Sometimes people will make it look like, yeah, that looks like me, even though it looks nothing like them. So,
Do you know how we did Snapchat?
phone calls?
No, we just passed notes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was more like, do you like me A, B, C, or D as a friend, more than a friend, or find me repulsive?
That is hilarious.
And then the
actually.
chick would send it back to you, and you would hope so badly that there was something good that would come back, and sometimes it would be.
Never in a million years.
Yeah, they would write in a whole new answer in there, but
Oh my gosh.
yeah, we
D. No response.
No response. And instead of DMs, we would find out who their best friend was and then go talk to her. Be like, hey, is Stacy single? And they would be like, yeah, well, can you talk to her for me? Like, you laugh, but like seriously, like
Well, I feel like
you guys, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I feel like both of the ways we approached a girl or someone that you want to talk to that you liked, it sort of has almost the same approach, except we're more virtual. You guys, you guys went up to the best friend and asked if they were single, or you just went up and did it, um, or you passed notes. We would send DMs, or we would get their number through their best friend, or even just find their Instagram or Snapchat or any kind of social media handle of them.
Do you ever find like when you go to somebody's profile, what are the red flags that you're just like, ooh, this one looks like trouble? Like, and I know again, you're not seeking this out, but I know your friends are. But I know you've probably been sitting next to somebody and they're going through something like, oh, I just saw this, or it's in their bio, or I just saw this photo. Like, what are some things that I mean? Obviously, if they're dating somebody, like, oh, she's with a dude. But I'm talking about like other red flags that maybe other people wouldn't notice.
Well, I mean, sometimes you'll catch a photo of some of them vaping, and sometimes that's a red flag to some of my friends. Or sometimes it's like, oh, that sounds like something I could congregate with them because that's something I like doing. I mean,
Okay, I mean
but
that's fair.
and there's also like it's also the vibes you get from them.
The
Like,
vibe, like
yeah,
what kind of vibes do you
I'll
get?
give you an example. I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm not gonna describe like
Oh, that
this
person.
person. Yeah, that person. But basically, sometimes, which I didn't tell you, Snapchat sometimes recommends you some people that are mutual friends. Like, have you ever met these people? And it's like 5 different friends that you probably know. It's like I don't even know who these people are, but I'm sure some of my friends have them added. But I'm not gonna bother to add them because I don't know them because I've never met them through this person. So, anyways, I was looking at some of their public profiles and I was looking at this person and it just some was weird. Like it just didn't feel trustworthy. It felt toxic. It felt like that person has been in multiple relationships. It felt like they're just not probably a good influence or anything like that. But sometimes I'll look at them and it's like this person seems okay. It's probably not gonna last in the long run if I'm wanting to date that girl or something like that. Um, but yeah, I just sometimes it's just a vibe you get. Like
Makes sense.
I mean, I've came across so many people like vaping or smoking weed on their public profiles, which is not surprising. People do that
Have
all the time.
fun being unemployed for life.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's like it's weird stuff. It's either scripture, people goofing off in stores, or it's just a like a selfie with their friends. It's a you will get a variety of things, but the things I mostly get is what I pretty much listed.
I can see that. I'll tell you, man. Like, can we switch gears for a second?
Yeah.
So I used to be obviously in medical supply sales, so I was a manager, and I had to hire and fire. And I'll tell you, anytime I had to hire, this is gonna be a good lesson for you. It has nothing to do with dating, but in a way, like I always joke about it. Like if you're in management or you hire people, it's kind of like dating, except for on the very first date, you're asking this person to quote unquote marry you, but work for you, right? Which is like, think about that. Like you date somebody for probably years or at least months or several dates, and then you ask them to marry you, but you interview someone one, two, or three times, and suddenly they're working for you.
Yeah.
But I would always go anytime I got somebody who applied for a job. Where do you think the first place I would look?
I don't know. There's social media,
Yep. And which handle do you think I would look at first?
Instagram,
Instagram, then what?
Facebook.
Then Facebook, and then what? I don't have any of the other ones except for LinkedIn, but
Oh, LinkedIn.
yeah, it was really fun.
I
Like
was gonna say TikTok, but I highly doubt you check people's profiles on TikTok.
I don't because TikTok wasn't around when I was still hiring people.
True.
But I'll tell you, I would now. But I think the first place like that, those would still be the first places I would go. But it was always very fascinating to me because it was like, oh, Instagram and Facebook, there's your party photos, and on LinkedIn, it's all professional.
Yeah. It's
It's
like
like,
them going like, "Wow,
yeah,
we're
right.
gonna get so hammered," and then it's them on on LinkedIn like, I am a medical device salesman.
Exactly. I can't even tell you how many applications, how many people I did not schedule interviews with based on their social media.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, and I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to like if
Digital footprint. That's what we're
it
talking
is a digital footprint. Like if you see like the majority of somebody's posts are them like just getting hammered drunk and going crazy, you're like, I don't really know if that's the type of profile that I'm looking for. So, but let me share. Can I share something with you? A funny story about dating?
Sure.
Okay. And let me share this story. And then maybe you can relate it to if this were to happen to me now, what would happen to me digitally? Okay. Or
Okay.
virtually.
Okay.
So I was the exact same age as you
Okay.
when this
You were
happened.
19.
I was 19. And actually, no, I was, what was I? No, I had just turned 20. I just turned 20. And it was, wait, it doesn't matter. I was right around the same age. It was my first year of college.
Okay. So
And
probably 19.
yeah, and I was at UMSL. I was 19. That's right. And I was at UMSL, University of Missouri St. Louis. And I took a class, and there was this one girl in the class, and I definitely took, I was definitely attracted to this girl. And we would kind of walk to and from class, and one day I just asked her out, and I was like, let's go out. She's like, okay, cool. And we went out, and I'll admit it was a great date. We had tremendous chemistry. I was still living at home. I brought her to my mom's house. We watched a movie. Nothing really big happened. We did make out just a little bit. We kissed a little bit, but that was it. Like nothing major happened. It was like a regular date. But then this thing happened while I was on my way home, taking her home. She was like insanely clingy. Like, I mean, like she was like wouldn't let me go. Like she was kept hugging me and like grabbing my arm and like putting her head on my shoulder, and she gave me kisses on the cheek. And I'm like, wow. I was like, this is kind of cool. This girl's like really like into me. Like
Was this on the first date?
first date.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and then the next day I see her in class. I'm like, hey, I was like, do you have plans after this? She's like, no. I was like, you want to go to get some ice cream? So we went and got ice cream. And I noticed, like, even on the way to ice cream, she was super clingy and like just
Touchy.
very touchy, which was kind of cool. But at the same time, I'm like, this seems intense. Then I dropped her back off at home, came home. I think it was like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 hours later. And at that point in time, there were no cell phones, but I did have caller ID on my home phone, and we had an answering machine.
Uh,
She had called in that 5 hour span.
gosh.
She had called 16 times. I thought something was wrong with the caller ID. I'm like pressing the button, going. I'm like, wow. I was like, this chick has called a lot. And then I went back again. I'm like, is this right? And then I counted, and she left me 2 messages. And then I called her back, and the first thing she picks up the phone, I'm like, hey. She goes, where have you been? And I go, uh, out. I went to the gym. I ran some errands. I did this. I did that. Well, why didn't you call me back? And I was like, I just got home. I just got your message. And she's like, oh, well, I've called you a few times. I'm sitting there thinking like, yeah, like 16. Like I didn't say that, but I don't think
You
she knew.
should've.
I don't think she knew I had caller ID. But this chick completely freaked me out. And I was like, look, I think, I don't think this is going to work. And she's like, why? And I was like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, and I think I just kind of like left it at that. I just was, and then the next day I sat in another seat, hoping that she would sit in her own seat. And she ended up sitting behind me. So she ended up moving seats and sat behind me. So I'm in class and I'm like really uncomfortable. And I'm like, is this chick gonna like stab me with a knife in the back? Like she was definitely giving off the vibe. Like I got some dirty looks as she moved seats, and there was just like this vibe, this tension. Well, we're halfway through class, and I see this piece of paper come over my shoulder and like land on my lap, and I'm like, what is this? And I open it up, it's a note, and it just said die.
Oh my god.
Die. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like fatal attraction. This is crazy. So anyway, there's no Snapchat, there's no virtual things going on there. Like I'm wondering what would have happened to me, do you think, in this day and age versus your smile? You'd be like, I wouldn't have a dad. You'd be dead. She probably sent like, I don't know. What do you think what she would have done?
You know what she would have done?
Oh God, what?
And it bothers me like no other, and any girl, or even guys that do this whenever they're in like relationships, like after their girlfriend breaks up with them and then they do this. I'm just like, come on, man. Come on, girl. Like, why? It's when they post about it for their social media therapy. Or like, and then everyone starts to turn on you. Basically, I have heard stories, and I feel like the drama is way worse, especially at middle school and high school. I've heard stories where it wasn't one of my friends, it was someone I knew in my class. It was my freshman year, maybe my sophomore year. This guy, he was dating this girl. A lot of people knew about them, about their couple, like their they were a couple. And they were obviously we were all in the same school, so it wasn't like they went to another school, we went to this school. Like it wasn't that. It was all the same school at my high school, and we knew that they were dating. And eventually, I think the guy broke up with her, because she did something that, or he did something, or my gosh, I cannot speak. She did something that he did not like, and I don't know if it was like cheating or if it's just he doesn't need a relationship or it's something weird. And what happened is she would cause scenes sometimes, not like towards like staff or like in classrooms, but she'd be like yelling, screaming at him sometimes. Not crazy, but I mean, teachers have been close to me like, hey, you guys need to separate, but they haven't got to that point. And sometimes, oh my gosh, I would hear about it on this is before I had Snapchat. My friends would show me her stories or his stories about their breakup, and it was like the girl like being like, "Oh, I'm so sad. Oh my gosh." And she's like crying with the sad music in the background. I'm just like, gosh, people are stupid.
I feel like
And
you're watching a train wreck.
yes, and like everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, we're here for you. Oh my gosh," to the girl, and the guy's getting crapped on. I'm just like, "Come on. Like this is not how this is so immature." I've never done I actually I'll give you a story about a girl I dated along like first like freshman year of high
I
school.
don't really want to hear it.
Well, guess what? I'm gonna play. Basically, I mean, it was just like what happened when I was just telling you. Like, I broke up with her because it was not something I needed, and she posted about me on her TikTok, and I was like, I texted her. I was like, take this down
Oh boy,
now. I was not happy.
I bet.
Actually, this happened twice with two girls. I said, take this down now. She was like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. She owned up to it, which I thought was great. So you're right. I'm sorry. I really just did this for like therapy for other people, but you're right. This is not right. I shouldn't be doing this. So I'll take it down. And she did. I was very glad she did that. And then I dated someone else my sophomore year. Actually, we talked a lot, but we didn't go on a first date because I was just not feeling it. I was like, I don't think I want to make this a relationship. And she posted on TikTok of her crying, bawling her eyes out with the sad music. And I was just like, are you kidding me?
I remember.
Are you kidding me?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people on the comments were like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Whoever did this to you is awful. And some of her friends were commenting on who they knew who I was. And they tagged me and said, you're awful. And I was like, take this down now. I was so pissed off. I was so mad. I almost lost my patience. It was just really like a stern, like, take it down now.
Oh my gosh, I didn't.
She eventually did when she dated someone else. And I was like, she didn't take it down, but I didn't want it to let it bother me. So I actually deleted TikTok.
Wow. Oh, excuse me. You know, I'll tell you. I will tell you. Like, I that is tough. That's really really tough because we didn't. You know, while some of the things I think, I honestly think you guys live in a generation where it's never been easier to find somebody that you might be interested in dating. Like literally, like you can almost pre-screen people with these apps and or their Snapchat or wherever else. At the same time, if you do something bad or is viewed as bad, that could be your demise. Like I remember, I wasn't the when I like was in high school and I like lost all my weight and like girls started to suddenly like me. I like kind of went in the other direction for a little bit, and I was like, I just want to date everyone. Like and I don't even care who I hurt. Like
Wow.
I was
Player.
I was kind of a player my junior year a little bit. But I'll tell you, like the cool thing about that, not cool, but like I would, if I messed up with one girl, right? It really wasn't like if I hurt a girl, it really wasn't public knowledge until it like really got around, like but like I didn't have to worry about like I was just such like there was a small group of people that knew I was being a jerk, not everyone that I knew, right?
Mhm.
So there was that. I do want to move on to something else. And by the way, I appreciate all the context because this is going to equip dads, I think, with like, dads, I think, remember what their dynamics were like growing up. And, we're now being educated in yours. But like, I want to talk about respect, honesty, and confidence. And do you guys use the term game?
Sometimes some people do. I don't really associate with that term.
What do you guys use in place of game?
Um, you tap that.
Are you serious? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Well, that's hilarious. Okay, the game was more like confidence. It was
No, that's not how.
that's
Actually, no. You want to know? You guys viewed it as confidence
yeah,
game?
game.
No, we use that as like a other term.
Wow, really? So
Mhm.
no, so like
you get that game.
you get that game. So does that mean you're getting action? Really? So like that was not
That's what someone explained it to me because I was like, what does that mean?
no. And when I was growing up, like if you were saying like, dude, that guy's got game, that means he's got confidence. Like he knows how to talk to women.
That's not how we refer it.
Really?
Yeah, and it kind of annoys me actually because
No.
I don't really associate with some of the terms that people use as like action or even like with dating someone. Like people will be like, "Oh, you tapping that?" I'm just like, "This is our first date, man. Come on."
Now that was a term growing up, but like tapping that was that term.
Yeah,
Like this one is
people
more.
still use that.
No, our thing was game, and I want to talk about that a little bit because I think that's really confusing for people who have confidence. Game is something that I think that fades over time because it's like fake confidence, right? Or it's like I'm trying
It's like
to.
an ego.
It's like an ego, and it's like I'm being this person that I'm actually not, just so I can like get
Like
something,
impress someone.
impress somebody. I'll tell you what does stand the test of time, though. It's like how to show respect in practical ways. Like, so for instance. It's never outdated. It's never a bad thing. Listening to a woman is a huge deal. Not rushing a relationship. That's another one. Like taking your time. That's actually
Huge.
it is. Not objectifying, right? So honesty. That's another one. Honesty is all about who we are, right? And obviously truth behind that, but honesty. And then confidence. Like confidence is something that is rooted in values and not necessarily bravado, right? I think you can tell, like, I guarantee you can tell at your age, like, what girl has genuine confidence that's rooted in values and someone who's completely fake
Oh, I can
confident.
totally see. And everyone that you see at like if you were in my shoes, you would see who is confident in
Yeah.
high school. No, you will see who has the ego and who has like respect for themselves and for others.
Well, I think you can, like, I think the older you get too, like, could you sniff that nearly as like
A mile away.
a mile away as you
Yes.
can now? Like
It's
that,
just
like I'm
the
talking.
vibes and the things that you see. But
But like years ago, like go back to freshman year, could you sniff that nearly as clearly as you can now? You
yeah.
could even back.
Oh yeah, like I feel like it got worse as time went on because it mostly got worse for when I was a senior. It mostly got worse for people like sophomores or juniors. Mostly freshmen and sophomores when I was a senior. It was more of the younger age group that got really bad with their like drama and their egos, and you could tell they aren't confident. They're just showing off and
Yeah.
being egotistical and selfish, and they don't have a whole lot of respect for themselves or others. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I noticed it even more and more and more as I got older, and I feel like I'm still going to.
I don't think it necessarily goes away necessarily anytime soon. But I think going back to like, confidence. Confidence is one of the most attractive things for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really is. A
There's
woman.
a fine line of what confidence looks like, obviously.
So I'd love to ask you about that. I'd love to ask you about what do you think that fine line is?
I think we've talked about it before. It's like, the quietest person in the room is the strongest or something like that.
No, I think what you're referring to is the most powerful person in the room is the one who has nothing to hide.
Yeah, that pretty much like that kind of you see that in some people or like the way they act towards people. Like you can tell like if they're like, "Ah, you're such a," and then like a bad word I'm not gonna cuss on here. And I'm just like,
Such a flim flam.
yeah, you debacled this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, it's like those say really mean things. Like sometimes I actually heard this on another podcast. Um, I was listening about like they were talking about, and we're not going to get into this very much, but they call it an ick.
I I don't even know what the ick is.
Okay, so icks nowadays is like how vibes people read from other people, but they are ridiculous. Sometimes people, like girls, get turned off because if they, this one, I'm not kidding, this guy has a sister who is in high school and said that she is talking to this girl and he she goes, yeah, but he just gave me the ick like a couple days ago. And he goes, what was it? Like, did he like do something that was like embarrassing to himself and to others? And she goes,
He was standing where I was.
so I punched him in the head.
Yeah, he gave me the
Or
ick.
juice. But anyways, he got a broken arm and he was like, okay, that's kind of odd. I mean, I can understand like sometimes an injury, the way some injuries happen. I mean, sure, that can be a little bit like, ooh, I don't like, I can't show my face around you anymore to some people. But no, he got hit by a semi and broke his arm. And
Wait, he got hit by a semi, and the only thing that happened to him was he broke his arm.
well, it was like on the highway, it was like a side swipe and crashed into a ditch and broke his arm.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Thank God that dude's okay.
Yeah. And he was like, "Are you kidding me? He almost died." And you're like, "Oh, I get the ick. That's a turn off. I don't like this guy anymore." I'm just like, "No way, that's a thing."
Dude, I'm just telling you right now, okay? Like any woman out there, like if you be like, what happened to your arm? I was hit by a semi. I think I'm in love with you. That's all that happened. You must be the strongest man alive.
What I was trying to say by the ick, I was mostly just explaining that, but basically what I saw on this podcast is that sometimes the ick and what I'm going for is that some guys will start to crap on other people just to impress someone. Like they'll be nice to their friends, like, "Oh, hey, what's up? It's good to see you," and then they're like crushed or something. Like, "You're such a loser. You suck at football, man. Like, what the heck's wrong with you?" And then they think that will get a woman's attention, which unfortunately sometimes it does.
I
But
honestly think those are the type of women you don't want attention from
no,
back, though.
no, you don't. And that's what I was going for. Like people with like low self esteem or low confidence or self respect, like that thing that people do to get a girl's attention.
Yeah, which it's like they'll do anything for the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's more bravado. That is not confidence. I think confidence is, again, it's knowing who you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's rooted in your values, and it's being okay with the fact like, hey, this girl might really like me or she might not, but I'm not going to change who I am or what I stand for just to get the attention of this young
Exactly.
lady, right?
You got to be you, and you got to find someone that can accept you for who you are.
I agree.
So,
I totally agree. I want to get to some advice that you would give yourself. So you're 19 now.
mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to totally change this question. You cool with that?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't even know what the question is, but
I
sure.
know. So like I was going to ask you what advice you would have given yourself a few years ago growing up. You know what? I'm going to ask you two questions.
Okay.
So I thought I was going to replace one or the other. I'm going to ask you two. So here's what I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
What's some advice that you would have given yourself 3 years ago? Like, and let's just say 16 was kind of like the start of the dating. Okay. Like, so you're 19 now going on 20. What advice you would give yourself 3 years ago? And here's the second question. What advice would you give your 16-year-old daughter?
Okay, well, first, let me answer the first one
All right.
because I already know what I'm gonna say. So you remember how I was talking about all like that ego stuff?
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Oh yeah.
I was with the wrong friend group,
Okay.
and I was doing the wrong I got into really bad habits. I put myself in a very bad spot, very bad mindset, and
Was that one night I saw you smoking crack outside?
it's just whatever. Actually, no, that was the one when I was shooting up heroin.
With Nikki Six. No,
Yeah. No. But I was in a very bad space, headspace, mentally, physically, even emotionally, and spiritually. Like I believed in God, but I am not as close as like with God as I am now compared to back then. But I had an ego, and that was also the time I started focusing on weightlifting a lot, like going to the gym quite often. Because well, you have always taught us how to lift, and I would always go with my friends, and I felt like I honestly was a douche. I was a stupid kid, like any of us were really, but I was a stupid kid, and like my sophomore year of high school, and I thought I was like, I'm for sure gonna get a girlfriend. I never talked to a single girl except for that one time when we lost that bet.
Which I was so proud of you for that.
Nice. Um, but I never really talked to a girl. I didn't really have enough confidence to talk to a girl. And I did the thing where I just DM'd someone or found their Snapchat. But I also was like, I had these like beliefs in something that a lot of people didn't really agree about. I'm gonna say this, and I promise you, it's not what I believe in now, and it's definitely not something I will take into the future and pass it on to my future kids. I was wearing these wife beater tank tops, and I still do when I work out. And I wore them at school a lot. And he goes, "You wearing that wife beater?" I just tell it, named him.
It's okay.
Are they gonna block it out?
We can.
Please.
Okay.
But anyways, I was hanging out with a friend, and he was like, "You wearing that wife beater?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Would you actually beat a wife?" I was like, "If they absolutely deserved it, I would hit a woman." And I was like, and looking back, I'm like, "Wow, that you're an a-hole."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm making a note here for
Yeah.
an edit. So okay. You know, I I think that's really good advice. I think and knowing where you were. I mean, I think you have to be. There's a saying out there that you have to be young and dumb before you're old and wise.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's absolutely true. Okay, now second question is, let's fast forward the tape like, I don't know, 25 years from now or whatever it is. I don't know, 30, but it won't be that long. Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
Basically,
Let's just say
kids.
20, 25 years from now, you have a 16-year-old daughter.
Okay.
She's getting ready to go out on her first date.
Okay.
What advice are you giving her?
I want her to be vigilant of
Okay.
the vibes. Like, will this person benefit your life with will they get you in dangerous situations? If so, that's a bit of a red flag. Can they will they leave a digital footprint that could impact, like, what kind of digital footprint will they put
That's good.
that could impact your future?
Interesting. Okay.
Because sometimes people will just record you when you're partying and post it anywhere.
Really?
And some people don't even know about it. So I would say be vigilant. Be aware of how this person acts or what they do for fun. If they have a very, I'm not saying that all guys are like this, but sometimes there is a guy that is like, he's got an ego and he has like a really nice car or a motorcycle, which is worse on a first date, honestly. Really like very souped up, nice.
I want you to remember you said that about the motorcycle. But that's a red flag.
On a first date, I think it is.
Okay, good. I'm glad you know that.
I just don't think that's the ideal way of transportation on the first date.
I agree. Or
I
ever.
think you need to like precious cargo. Like,
Yeah.
it's precious cargo, whether you like this person or not. Their life is on the line. If that's the first date and you act like a dummy on the road, not on my watch.
So be vigilant. Be cautious.
Mm-hmm. How can you benefit
How can you benefit? Like, is this person going to help me move forward? Are they going to hold me back?
Yep.
Digital footprint. I like all that. I didn't even think of all that.
And I also tell her, and I was just ranting about this. if you really like this person and this person's super nice and you love them and they break up with you for whatever reason at all, like they cheat on you or they're just not looking for a relationship, something simple, and you post it, I will not allow that.
Oh,
I don't care if I have a son and they do that or if I have a daughter and they do that. I will not allow it in my household whenever I have kids. I do not want them to have like a way of having all that attention on social media from even people that they don't even know and have their friends just be so horrible to them. Like, I believe in what God says, and you have to forgive your enemies. So, well, whatever they did, and I know there's horrible things that people can do to some relationships, horrible things, but you have to forgive them. I know that's easier said than done, and I haven't been in a situation like that before. But I even think about myself, like in some scenarios, like if they did this, would you forgive them? I'd be like, well, that'd be very hard, but I'd have to.
makes sense. Yeah. I
So,
I like those. I like those boundaries.
mhm.
Uh,
I want them to be respectful and have like, no big ego. Um, I want them to have like I want them to be confident, respectful to themselves and to other people. Doesn't matter if even if they don't like the person. I'm respectful to all the teachers I hated. I just talked badly about them behind their back when I was annoyed.
oh, that's good. That's
But
character.
I wasn't like mean to them. I didn't want to like hurt them because teaching is hard. It's not an easy job, and to have that kind of patience is. I mean, they have a lot of patience.
That's
So
good.
I
I
mean,
like
that was
those.
just me being annoyed and complaining. So
No, I really like those. Those are some to be honest, I wouldn't even have thought about, especially but I really really like those. Those are really really good.
yeah.
And you're not even a dad yet, so which is really really cool. Um,
Well, I just feel like it will get even worse in the future because look at how messed up the world is now.
I agree. I want to share just a couple of insights that I would love to share with you and dating, um, as well. And that is number one, never bend who you are for somebody else. And I did that at every turn. Like, and I think it was a lot of it had to do with early on. I wanted girls to like me so much. I didn't want to be rejected that I was willing to sort of like conform to whatever I thought that they wanted, which now I would never do that because number one, you kind of lose yourself, but also it's really unappealing for a woman. They really don't like that.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that I would tell myself too is I was always terrified to go up and talk to a girl I didn't know.
Of course, so was I.
Right.
I feel like anyone is.
But I'll tell you, I never regret to this day going up and having the guts to talk to anybody and striking out because that happened a lot.
Yeah.
That happened a lot. But I never regret striking out. And the thing but I did regret, and I do regret actually, I I always regretted not going up and talking to somebody that I was interested in or I wanted to. I regret that still to this day. Let me explain. I don't regret it because I wish I was married to somebody else. I could not be happier who I got to marry. Like, she is literally the best. But I think there's something that happens to you internally when you're willing to take chances and be like, this is who I am. I like that. I'm interested in that person over there. I'm going to run the risk of them saying no to me. I'm going to run the risk of being rejected because who cares? Because at the end of my life, here's what I don't want. I don't want at the end of my life knowing that other people intimidated me or scared me and that got in my way. So I think it goes back to like not necessarily wanting to date somebody I didn't. It goes back to like I just wanted to step into something really uncomfortable and do it anyway.
Get
And
comfortable being uncomfortable.
yeah. And the thing is, here's the other thing too. Like I always thought that girls who rejected me, like I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like a total fool. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Which, I mean, I feel like sometimes people will do that too. They'll try to make you look like a fool even though you were being confident and uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I think that's totally fine. But I think there's something really cool that happens when you, as long as you do it right. If you go and approach a woman and you're not an idiot, you're not a d-bag, you're not like this guy who's pumped up with bravado and fake confidence, but you're like a genuine person, and you go up to her and you tell her, like, I'm interested, like I'd really like to take you out, and she's like, no, that I would never date you in a million years. That's fine, because at the end of it, she's not going to be the first and she's not going to be the last who tells you that. But number two, girls might look like they have the ick or they're disgusted, but deep down, they do take it as a compliment if a man finds them attractive.
Oh, yeah.
And they do take it as a compliment if a guy goes up to them. So, like, at the very least, they might be like, the guy came up to me. But at the very least, she's like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
that person felt like they were attracted to you and they wanted to go talk to you. They wanted to see if they had a chance.
That's right.
But obviously, sometimes it's a no. So
it's a no.
It's a no.
In my case, it was usually the no. Yes.
It was
ick.
No. I was reenacting your dance.
Oh my God. Yeah. The stare up and down.
Yep.
The nastiness, like, please get away from me. You absolutely repulse me more than anything. Well, let's do this. While I pull up the show notes for all these guys, for them to go find the podcast today and all of our links and everything that we did today. Anything you want to close us out with that you found important or meaningful?
If you have a son or daughter, make sure they're not posting embarrassing things about
I would agree with
their relationships, their past relationships, because it's very unladylike and unmanly and very, very, very disrespectful to be doing something like that, and very immature. It says a lot about who you are as a person. So
I would agree. And that's good advice. And I'll tell you, the last piece of advice that you gave, especially for the 16-year-old daughter, that blew me out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that you're already operating like that, I think is amazing. So, hey guys, check this out. We're going to have a link in the show notes for you guys for the Ignition and Formula One, as well as Microfactor. Guys, please go out and support our sponsors. They are phenomenal. So, they keep the lights on with this podcast. This podcast is for free. So, and they help us out with, and I'll tell you, any other podcaster knows this, but podcasting is a very expensive hobby. So if you're enjoying the content, it's free content. Go out and please support our sponsors. Before we head out of here today, we're going to be doing something new in the month of September, October, and November. And that is, we are going to be identifying the first form dad of the month. And here's what I'm doing every single month. Every single month, I'm going to be rewarding the first form dad of the month with a $100 first form gift card. What I'd really love to do is just give the first form dad of the month a container of the pumpkin spice level 1.
Oh.
That stuff is so killer, and it's pumpkin spice season. So listen, I'm going to give this individual either two containers of pumpkin spice level 1, or I'm just going to give him a $100 gift card. But the first form dad of the month for September, check this out. You don't know this. I can't think of a better person. His name is Twizzler. He's from Illinois. He's actually a farmer, and he's one of my one-on-one clients. And he is a paraplegic. So he's been in a wheelchair for 20 plus years, and he's a business owner, owns a farm. He's got 3 kids. He's married, and this guy just got done with 75 hard.
Nice.
I mean, dude, that is
crazy.
75 hard.
Yeah.
This guy, he's got a heart of absolute gold. He is a business owner, so he's busy. He's got kids who are in sports. He's married, and this dude found a way to not only crush his health, but to complete 75 hard. And I started working with him right when he started 75 hard. He just finished a couple weeks ago, and he's been taking Formula One. He's been taking level 1 bars. He loves the beef sticks. He's been taking Microfactor. But I'll tell you, if there's ever anybody just super inspiring. One of the nicest people on the planet. Just completed 75 hard. Probably had every excuse in the world not to do it. Did it anyway. And I mean, the guy did his outdoor workouts in his wheelchair and just was like, yeah, man, I'm like working my arms. I'm getting my sunlight. I'm getting fresh air. He did it with a buddy, which I thought was awesome. He did it with his buddy Wade. So I'll tell you, Ty, from my heart to yours, congratulations, man, on being first form dad of the month for September. You either got a $100 gift card from me, or I'm going to send you out 2 containers of the pumpkin spice level 1, because that is pumpkin spice season. So what do you think of that, man? That's kind of cool.
That is insane. Like, a paraplegic,
yeah,
business owner,
3 kids, dad, 3 kids,
farmer,
one of the nicest dudes ever too,
and finished the 75 hard.
That
is awesome.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Props to you.
Props to you, Ty. We love you, Ty. Gentlemen, for all the links we talked about today, for the first form stuff, for the notes that we talked about today, for all the for the gold that Ethan dropped, I'm also going to have a link in there to pre-order The Pursuit of Legendary Fatherhood. All those links will be in the show notes. Head on over to thedadedge.com/1364 for this show. 1364 for this show.
Yeah.
thedadedge.com/1364. I didn't.
Yeah. Was that my cue?
That's your.
Yeah.
That's your cue, man. Hey, gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in today. Go out and live legendary. Take care.